probably know that the official Fantastic Beasts Crimes of Grindelwald trailer came out last week, and I already did a reaction video to it on just like my initial thoughts after seeing it, but I also promised what I did last time when the teaser trailer came out, which is a chronological version of the trailer, at least as I think it will be. So this video is pretty much my overall theory of about how Crimes of Grindelwald is gonna go. I don't know how accurate it's gonna be. I'm excited for in 4 months when I see the movie, and I'll probably revisit this video and see how wrong I was. But without further ado, let's go ahead and push play on the trailer in chronological order. First of all, a little bit of backstory is that before Credence left New York, he saw this poster for this circus, and he noticed that they are heading to Paris, and so that is where he decides to go. Also, we gain a little insight into Dumbledore and Grindelwald's relationship, as Dumbledore sees himself and Grindelwald in the Mirror of Erised, wishing that Grindelwald hadn't gone down that path that he is now heading down. So I feel like the main beginning of the movie is going to be Grindelwald getting out. I moved this a bit up from last time when I made the trailer in chronological order, but I just felt like it fit better here. So here we see they're transporting Grindelwald through the Makusa cells, and they are transferring him over to Azkaban. As they're taking a carriage pulled by Thestrals from where they transported Grindelwald to in London, on the way to Azkaban, he is able to overtake the carriage and escape. Now you see that he's gaining a pretty big following. He is telling them his ideas that wizards should not be in submission, they should not be hiding because of muggles.
Magic blooms only in rare souls. Still we must skulk in shadows, but the old ways serve us no longer. Their arrogance is a key to our victory.
We also see a short clip of him viewing part of the vision he had, which includes Credence. Now, as Dumbledore's thinking of the events that just occurred, that Grindelwald just got out, he decides to contact Newt. He uses his Deluminator to make the conversation nice and private, as he says,
I take it you've heard the rumors. Grindelwald had a vision that he would rise to dominance over the wizarding world. Muggles are not lesser, not disposable. I can't move against Grindelwald. It has to be you. In your shoes, I'd probably refuse to. It's late. Good evening, Newt. Oh, come on.
So, those clips are a little bit choppy. I feel like they come from different conversations, but give us an overall look at what Dumbledore said here, so that's why I left them together. At first, Newt says that he doesn't want to help, but as he thinks back on his experiences with Dumbledore, including this scene.
I'm scared, Professor Dumbledore.
Everyone is scared of something.
Ridiculous!
Newt, you're up next. That's an unusual one. What Mr. Scamander fears above everything else is...
Having to work in an office, sir.
Go ahead, Newt.
Ridiculous.
He decides that he should help out. Newt also receives this postcard from Dumbledore, who has already visited Paris in his endeavors, and Dumbledore says that he wants to meet with Newt again. So as Newt's walking around in London, he sees this glove, which acts as kind of a portkey, and takes him up to the top of this roof where Dumbledore is. They talk a bit more about what needs to be done, that there's something about Fantastic Beasts that Grindelwald is trying to use, and that's why Dumbledore wants Newt's help, and then Dumbledore disappears after telling Newt exactly what he has to do. So Newt takes a Kelpie across the British Channel over to France, and he meets some old friends along the way. Meanwhile, Dumbledore's back at Hogwarts, and the Ministry's kind of getting on him about sending Newt to Paris to take care of some stuff for him.
I have some questions for you, Professor.
This is a surprise.
There's a rumor that Newt Scamander is headed to Paris. I know he's working under your orders. What do you have to say for yourself, Dumbledore?
If you'd ever had the pleasure to teach him, you'd know Newt is not a great follower of orders.
Also, in Paris, before Newt really shows up, we see that Credence is learning how to control his Obscurus, and he's spending an awful lot of time with this Maledictus. Also, as people from the Ministry, or maybe like the French version of the Ministry, show up to try to take care of Credence, he shows how powerful he is and escapes their grasp. Now, we also see a close shot of the circus and the Maledictus's role as she walks up in a cage with many people staring at her. Newt goes to this circus and might lose a little bit control of Pickett for a second, but he finds that Credence and the Maledictus are there. But Credence isn't too keen on joining him either. Now we go back to Jacob and Newt together. They've set up a shop somewhere in Paris, and Newt says that they're going somewhere.
Are you going somewhere? No, we're going somewhere. Jeez.
Turns out where they're going is to meet Nicholas Flamel.
Are you a ghost?
No, I'm alive, but I'm an alchemist and therefore immortal.
Oh,
Nicolas Flamel.
Jacob Kowalski.
Oh,
You don't look a day over 375.
I'm still not quite sure why they're meeting with him. Probably something to do with the Philosopher's Stone. Or maybe he even has a connection with fantastic beasts. But also we see that as they're on the streets of Paris again, the Niffler starts wreaking havoc. And as Newt, Tina, and Queenie all see each other again, they're also encountered by a Lethifold, which we know is very lethal, killing its victims and leaving no trace behind. Of course, this magical beast was somewhat being controlled by Grindelwald. He's using all of these beasts to try to accomplish his plans. Also, it looks like maybe Abernathy is going to be attacked by one of these fantastic beasts. And it looks like there might be a few fatalities because of the beasts that Grindelwald is using. As Newt and Jacob are in Paris, they go underground and meet Dumbledore secretly in the catacombs.
The time's coming, Newt, when you're gonna have to pick a side.
Dumbledore, as we've seen before, is looking at the family tree that includes both Credence and Leta Lestrange. And so a lot of the focus continues to shift to Credence because he's a major part of this story. Also at this point, Tina shows up and they need to head to the French version of the Ministry of Magic. Tina, Newt, Jacob, and Queenie are all there trying to accomplish some task, and someone in the French magical government talks to Newt and says that they need his help.
So you're asking me to help hunt him down?
You underestimate your talents, Mr. Scamander.
Although he refuses because he sees there is an ulterior motive there, and that doesn't put them on quite the best list at the French magical government. And so then it turns into this crazy rush scene as they try to get out of there. There are some creepy cat things going after them and they're running away. And guess who's also there? Leta Lestrange. So with the help of Leta and Leta with the help of Newt and Tina, they are able to get out of there. And that's also when Leta tells Newt this.
You're too good, Newt. You never met a monster you couldn't love.
Anyway, Leta decides to help out Newt, and she, for some reason, goes to some party thing that has a villa there as a part of this. But outside, Newt is encountering a very interesting creature on the streets. A good thing that it's him there, the best magizoologist in the world. And the last clips I have here, we see part of the climactic battle that occurs against Grindelwald and his followers, with the amazing team together of Newt, Tina, Jacob, Queenie, as well as Theseus and Leta. In the end, I'm sure they'll barely scrape by, even though they won't defeat Grindelwald completely, because that happens in another 3 movies' time. But that brings us to the end of this Fantastic Beasts 2 trailer in chronological order. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed looking at all of the clips in what I think is the order of the movie. We'll see what actually happens in November. But if you did enjoy watching this, go ahead and give this video a like and subscribe to my channel. You can do that by clicking over here. And definitely go and check out my other videos. Up here I have my first Fantastic Beasts trailer in chronological order from a couple of months ago, and down here I have last week's reaction video to this new official trailer. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next Monday.